If you're new to biohacking your body and brain to optimizing your health, beating depression and anxiety, then you're most likely overwhelmed by the number of expensive supplements, fitness trackers, and brain training devices that are being marketed to you currently. And you're probably confused as to where to start. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to biohack your health on a budget. Let's dive in. Work harder, run faster, think smarter. The hustle until you die culture is killing us. Millions are stressed and depressed. I was one of them. I went on a 90-day mission to biohack my way back to health. The result? My best-selling book Unstoppable, daily journal, and online program that's changed thousands of lives and is praised by athletes, psychologists, and doctors. And now, it's your turn to become unstoppable. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ben and I've helped tens of thousands of people biohack their way out of depression, fatigue and stress into optimal health through both my Unstoppable book, which is now in its second edition, as well as the Unstoppable journal, which is based on the book itself. Now, before we begin, I want you to stick around till the very end because I'm going to tell you how to get your free online gut health report that puts you on the path to healing your weight, mind and mood. And I'm also going to send you 2 free chapters from my brand new book, Mind Control, that explores the latest in nutritional psychology and the gut microbiome for better gut as well as mental health. You see, when I first wrote my book Unstoppable, that's now sold well over 80,000 copies, I spent an exorbitant amount of money trying to biohack my way out of depression, anxiety and fatigue. In fact, not many people know this, but the week that I released the first edition of Unstoppable, my bank account went $3,000 into arrears because I put my heart and soul into that project and because I was personally desperate to feel better. I was willing to try anything and do anything to make sure that I felt happy as well as healthy. You certainly don't have to spend your last dollar like I did to get better. And if you stick around with me until the very end of this video, I'm going to take the lessons that I've learned to help you not only save thousands of dollars in optimizing your health, I'm also going to teach you how to avoid the marketing hype that's fueled by a male-dominated industry that's dripping with male ego who want to push a different supplement or wearable on you every other day. The bottom line is biohacking needs to be accessible to everyone, and you don't need to go to extreme measures to get results. But first, I want you to consider this. Which type of biohacker are you? 1, you want to be the absolute best, jump in icy cold lakes, buy the latest wearable device, do CrossFit and try psychedelics. I've done a couple of those. I want you to guess which ones I've done as well as which one I avoid. Or are you 2? Are you an everyday individual that just wants to feel better, have incredible focus, drive and energy, and you want to do it minus the ego and in a way that you can work into your daily and weekly routine without going to extreme measures or spending every single dollar that you have? Drop us a comment below and let us know which one you think you are. Let me be super clear. It doesn't matter if you're 1 or 2. This is based on your personal preferences as well as your personal objectives, as well as what you believe you could sustain in the long term. So to help you, here's what we're going to cover to help you biohack your way on a budget. 1, how to save money on supplements and expensive sleep and fitness trackers. 2, how to avoid expensive lab tests and get the right advice to save you money in the long run. And 3, how to get the best sleep of your life without expensive gadgets as well as expensive supplements. Let's kick it off with number 1, how to save money on supplements while boosting your energy and drive. But I got to tell you a little story first. I literally roll my eyes whenever I see biohackers promote a different supplement every other day and take photos of 100 different supplements in their medicine cabinet like it's some kind of badge of honor. It's not, and I'm going to share with you why. I have counted recently a whopping 18 different links to different supplements in one article alone by one of the industry's worst offenders. Full disclosure, there are only 3 brands that I currently recommend: Thrive for probiotics and Qualia and Find My Formula for nootropics. I get new supplements sent to me by companies who want to feature them every single month. I don't feature them all, especially when most simply don't stand up to the scrutiny. You see, this is what you really have to understand when biohacking your way on a budget. The problem with the biohacking space right now is that many health influencers derive their income solely by promoting other people's products. I've declined payments from companies because I can't ethically recommend them. And secondly, my income isn't reliant on product endorsements, so I don't feel the same pressure that they do. I'll feature products or supplements that I personally believe in, but I'm also going to call out companies publicly if they fail to keep up their standards, like I did recently. And here's what I want you to remember. The fundamental basics of biohacking is optimizing your gut health first. Because if you don't, your body isn't going to absorb the nutrients from the supplements you take anyway. So it's going to be a waste of money. Optimizing gut health doesn't need to be expensive either. If you have brain fog, depression, fatigue, it may be an indicator that you aren't absorbing nutrients efficiently. You may have a nutritional deficiency. This can be affected by various factors, specifically these 5. 1, insufficient production of digestive enzymes. 2, decreased bile production. 3, too much stomach acid. 4, certain medications. 5, the wrong kinds of bacteria or yeast in your small intestine that's been fueled by excessive sugars as well as carbs. So instead of spending hundreds on supplements every month, here are 3 steps that I want you to take. 1, heal your gut by increasing fiber, reducing stress, optimizing your sleep, and reducing sugar and of course junk foods, while switching that out for eating healthy fats like olive oil. If you are to take a supplement to support your gut health, you're going to need to look at a high quality probiotic. I do believe that based on the countless conversations that I've had with experts in the field of gut-brain axis research, a probiotic should be a part of everyone's daily routine. Why? Well, the latest research shows us that a balanced gut microbiome has a lot to do with whether they activate your genes for wellness or deregulate your genes to create diseases. They also play key roles within hunger, digestion, stress, the absorption of nutrients from your diet, and of course your mental health. 2, focus on what your body needs instead of what everybody else is trying to sell to you. I know that personally I'm prone to a vitamin D deficiency, even though I live in sunny Florida. That's one additional supplement that I'll take on top of a good multivitamin, as well as a good probiotic. You want to look at your supplements and identify the ones that you feel are making a difference. Often, a lot of the time when we stop taking a supplement, we'll notice that the brain fog may start to come back, our energy may begin decreasing. That could be because that specific supplement was aiding you. And here's a great tip. If you're already taking a multivitamin, make sure you're not doubling up on key vitamins by supplementing with them separately. For example, forms of magnesium are found in multivitamins. You may want a bit of extra boost with that for brain health. But some forms of magnesium can cause digestive issues such as diarrhea. These forms are magnesium carbonate, chloride, gluconate, and oxide. Magnesium is critical for your brain health, especially if you're experiencing depression, anxiety, and you're overwhelmed with stress. But don't overdo it, or you're going to undo your good work, disrupt your gut and your digestive system, and end up with digestive issues that could be impacting your health as well. Supplements are phenomenal, but don't overdo them. 3, once you address gut health issues, then and only then begin experimenting with nootropics. And because you're going to be absorbing nutrients more efficiently, you'll most likely find that you only require a small dose, thereby saving you even more money. Half of the time with any nootropic supplement that I take that's either Qualia or Find My Formula, I'm taking half a dose because I find that that's my sweet spot, that I'm not too overly optimized or too overly stimulated that I become scattered and I can't focus on anything. But it's in that region where I can focus, I can dial in, and I can get shit done. This helps to save you even more money. The problem that most people face is not many actually know how to optimize gut health beyond just drinking kombucha or taking off-the-shelf probiotics. So I want you to stick around to the very end to get your free gut health report, as well as your free chapters from my brand new book that's going to help to set you on the right path, and it's going to save you money in the long run. 2, skip the expensive sleep and fitness trackers and get yourself a journal or a notebook. Instead of spending hundreds of dollars on wearables like the Oura Ring, which I recently slammed in a video a couple of months back due to false marketing claims that they've been unable to back up with scientific studies, do yourself a favor and spend less than $30 on either a health journal or literally just a plain notebook. The truth is that you don't need expensive wearable devices to tell you that you didn't sleep well last night. No one has a greater insight into how you feel than you do. Why? Well, because you spend every single second of the day in your body. Sleep and fitness trackers should only ever act as a guide because, put simply, they aren't calibrated to medical devices, and most are overhyped and provide unsupported claims. They also don't share how their algorithm calculates its sleep score. If the data isn't accurate, they have to rely on population studies, which goes right against their claims of personalized insight. If you want to know more about sleep and fitness trackers and which ones I recommend, check out the Oura Ring video where I did a full assessment on which ones I feel are heading in the right direction and are far more trustworthy. Furthermore, and I find this fascinating, is that sleep trackers may also trigger a placebo effect, thereby distorting your perception of how you actually feel. If the sleep tracker is telling you to take it easy, but you feel great, it can cause you to second guess yourself. And if the data is inaccurate, you may end up trying to fix a problem that you simply don't have, which actually happened to me. The real problem is you just haven't been taught how to check in with yourself and identify what you need to focus on to optimize your sleep and overall health. You haven't been taught how to trust your gut. One of the reasons I created the Unstoppable Journal was because I had countless requests from people who wanted to biohack their way to health on a budget, but they didn't actually have a framework to do it within. And I don't care if you use my journal or a plain notebook, it's absolutely fine, because I'm going to tell you the 8 triggers out of 16 that you can track on a daily basis that kneecap your psychology and your energy levels, and it takes less than 60 seconds. 8 out of the 16 are 1. Gut health, 2. Chronic pain, 3. Side effects from medications, 4. Excessive caffeine use, 5. Nutritional deficiencies, 6. Poorly ventilated rooms, 7. Shallow breathing, and 8. Of course, poor sleep quality. And because you're biohacking your way on a budget, I'm going to give you some free daily journal pages that contain checkboxes for the total 16, so you can print it out yourself and you can start it today. But first, I want to share something with you. It's now been over 3 years since I started my journey. The one thing that's kept me on track is doing a self-check-in daily in less than 60 seconds in these 16 key areas. It's helped me to identify specific areas of my health that need attention, especially sleep, which I'm going to cover shortly. So here's what I want you to do. Each morning, do a self-check-in. This also acts as a preventative measure, and it draws your attention back to key areas that, thanks to life, you may have failed to maintain. More often than not, when I speak to our members, their problems are actually really quite obvious. But in the heat of the moment, when their prefrontal cortex is switched off, which is in control of logical and rational thinking, when things are in a downward spiral, when they're fully in fight or flight, they miss them because compromised brain function is a symptom of not getting the basics right. When you get the basics right, everything else becomes easier. 3, what if you can't afford expensive health tests that you see biohackers doing, including myself? What should you do? Well, this one, you're probably not going to like my answer, but it's important that you hear it loud and clear. If you're unwell and you've tried everything else, including working through the basics that I just mentioned, but the symptoms persist, you must get to a functional doctor and at least assess your testing options. It doesn't mean you have to start them immediately, but at least assess which tests may be beneficial for you. One thing that you do not want to fuck around with is your health. If you have the option to getting testing done, which could alert you to a more serious issue that needs to be addressed immediately, then you owe it to yourself and your family to make it happen some way or somehow. Health issues left unaddressed are going to end up costing you more than just money in the future. I personally know this. I lost my dad to brain cancer over 12 years ago now. It was absolutely devastating. Could it be prevented? I don't know. Testing wasn't so prevalent back then, but it's something that we have access to now at a much more affordable price than we have ever had in the history of medicine. In all honesty, and this is a bit of a truth bomb here, money isn't always the issue, but it's how people allocate what they do have that is. Some will buy the latest smartphone, the latest fashion, and subscribe to countless subscription services, get an expensive car lease. It all adds up over the course of a month. They'll spend more on alcohol and entertainment than they will on their own health. We've all done it at one point. Now, obviously, this doesn't apply to everyone. The past year has been rough for people. But, if your health is taking a major hit right now and you've got the basics down, please begin by doing a personal financial audit and set a goal for yourself in the not so distant future to see a doctor, to have specific tests run, alongside educating yourself on what else you can do right now. But what do you do if you absolutely can't afford testing? First of all, you've got to recognize that not being able to access testing isn't an excuse to do nothing. It's a powerful reason that you must act immediately. So, 1, focus on your gut health as your very first step, because if your gut is imbalanced, this can cause food particles as well as toxins to leak into the bloodstream, causing a whole host of issues, especially inflammation. That's going to make everything 10 times worse. 2, clean up your diet gradually so you stick to new healthy and sustainable habits. Search for healthy meal options on a budget on YouTube. There is literally an abundance of free resources to help you get started. And make sure you grab your free gut health report below so you can see your likelihood of obesity, depression, brain fog based on your current behavior with tips on what to do about it. 3, if you are on any medications right now, look up the possible side effects online. Medications, although life-saving and sometimes absolutely necessary, can mask symptoms and trigger other ones in their place, especially affecting the microbial community of your gut. A great resource that I've relied on in the past is a website called askapatient.com, just to see how others are interacting with the same medications and how it's actually affecting them. If you can get to a doctor, you want to discuss with them about the medications that you're currently on, possible side effects, and what are some more natural options to help you get off the medications and rebalance your body naturally. And finally, 4, when you can get to a doctor eventually, ask them which specific tests or types of tests may be relevant to you. Some of the basic ones that I always recommend to people with depression, fatigue, they're experiencing unexplained weight gain, is to test for nutritional deficiencies as well as hormonal imbalances. But here's a tip, and this is really important for you to understand. When you get your results back, don't just accept them when they say that you're in the normal range. I almost ended up on thyroid medication for the rest of my life because doctors didn't tell me that I was at the very low end of that normal range. I was already exhibiting symptoms. Thankfully, because a functional doctor alerted me to this fact, I was able to correct course quickly. We need to focus on prevention first and foremost, and that's how you save money on biohacking. An accurate diagnosis is going to save you a hell of a lot of money, especially in the long run, and it's going to save you a hell of a lot of heartache. You want to take the guesswork totally out of the equation, or you could prolong your own suffering. Thankfully, testing is becoming far more accessible thanks to companies like Thrive for gut health testing, as well as Everlywell and other companies that are bringing the price down for such an essential service that everybody should have access to. Next up, and finally, 4, healing your sleep-deprived brain. Focusing on sleep quality is going to change everything for you. If you're waking up tired despite sleeping all throughout the night, or you're waking up at odd hours and you feel hungover the next day, optimizing your sleep is vital to your overall success, especially brain function, mood, focus, and weight management. Just imagine how much you could actually achieve if you were alert and awake. Your need for additional supplements will also potentially reduce once you get your sleep optimized. And while you can spend, I believe, roughly $600 on a bed cooling unit like this one, which is by Oura, which by the way is phenomenal, and no, I'm not affiliated with them. This does only address one aspect of the problem by specifically targeting sleeping temperature, which is of course vital. But here's where you need to pay special attention. Here's an area that's most overlooked when it comes to sleep. There are 5 vitamin deficiencies that can also impact your sleep in a whole host of ways, including vitamin D, B6, B12, and vitamin E. A recent study found that vitamin D deficiency was linked to short sleep duration. Studies have also shown that vitamin E in combination with vitamin C and other antioxidants can improve nighttime breathing and sleep quality in people with obstructive sleep apnea. Now, you're probably wondering, how do you address this? Well, as you probably guessed by now, all roads lead back to step number 1, your gut health. To ensure that you're absorbing key vitamins and nutrients that support sleep health. You see, biohacking on a budget begins with the foundation of gut health, which then works its way up to brain health and brain training. If you skip this step, it doesn't matter how many supplements, nootropics, or wearables you use, they won't make the kind of difference that you want them to. If you are going to take a good multivitamin, make sure that you boost its effectiveness by making sure that your gut is working like clockwork, which is going to address a whole host of other issues. You see, I've received countless emails from people who healed their gut and ultimately changed their life. The weight comes off, brain fog clears, they experience a surge in energy, and they get their bodies and brains back. So don't just fall for the latest overhyped supplement. Trust your gut and focus on what you need. Biohacking must factor in bio-individuality, which is important that you remember and read the signals and signs that your body is giving you. And here's what I want you to remember. You and I have different needs at different times in our lives, especially due to stress. It's time that we taught people again how to trust their gut so they don't waste money and become victims of the diet, fitness, supplement, and food industries. And yes, even though I write books on biohacking, this also includes the biohacking space. You have to learn yourself to disseminate the information based on your needs, not on their entrepreneurial endeavors. So now that you understand how important sleep, testing, and gut health is to biohacking on a budget and optimizing your energy levels, it doesn't stop there. That's really just the start, because you want to use these understandings to start to repair your gut, your mind, and your mood so you can save even more money in the long run. Which is why I've created a free online gut health report that's going to help you to identify your likelihood of obesity, fatigue, digestive distress, carb cravings, and more based on our survey of over 50,000 people and 1.5 million pieces of data from around the globe. This is designed to help you close the gap from finally knowing to actually doing. Plus, when you get your free gut health report, you're also going to be invited to a special 1-hour masterclass that's going to step you through my Trust Your Gut method to sharper thinking, easier weight loss, and improved mood. Because I understand that gut health, weight loss, and mental health is a complex web of different components that most people often overlook. This free report is going to help you to start pull these missing pieces together so you can finally get answers and results. Then, to help you even further, and also for free, we're also going to give you the introduction to free chapters from my brand new book, Mind Control: How to Biohack Your Weight, Mind, and Immune System Using Nutritional Psychology and the Gut Microbiome. Mind Control is the follow-up to my bestseller Unstoppable that won Best Self-Help Book of 2020 in the International Book Awards, has been translated into 2 languages, and has now sold over 80,000 copies. Unstoppable has been praised by doctors, psychologists, nutritionists, and athletes. Which is why I'm so excited to present Mind Control to you, because it's going to help you to take back control of your mood, understand why you eat, what you eat, why we're physically full but emotionally empty, the missing micronutrients and your starving brain, the best diets for treating depression, anxiety and fatigue, and treating various gut health issues, plus so much more. So if you're interested in your free gut health report, sample chapters from Mind Control, and the free daily journal pages, check out the links below. And if you like this video, go ahead and click the subscribe button and drop us a comment. And I can't wait to see you for the next one. Take care.